Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
A local investigation has become federal. We begin with an update on a story we brought you early this week about a break-in at a secured transmitter tower site in Wilson County. The FBI is now involved in this investigation. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office looking for a number of people believed to have broken into the site near Elmendorf over the weekend. 3 people caught on camera walking around the site Sunday morning.
Now, the footage shows the trio trying to break into a building before walking off with several items. They were in an SUV. The feds are now involved, as Steve just said, because there have been several break-ins at other sites across the state and country. So they're trying to see if there's some sort of a connection here. Now, you're looking at the footage here. If you recognize any of the people on this tape, you can give the Wilson County Sheriff's Office a call. Their number is on your screen. It's 830-393-2535.
All that's needed is the president's signature. The Respect for Marriage Act would then become the law of the land, protecting both same-sex and interracial marriages.
Now, supporters have been arguing that this has to become law after the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. Our Jessie Degollado has more.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Ellie Flores and Elio Finch acted like a couple of newlyweds, proudly showing off their wedding bands. They were married less than a month ago in a small ceremony in the Texas Hill Country. Yet despite the 2015 ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court that marriages like theirs were legal,
it's something that we've always been afraid of, getting it taken away from us.
It's something that's just unfair, and I'm glad that it's protected now.
The motion is adopted.
Now that the Respect for Marriage Act, adopted by Congress, codifies the Supreme Court ruling as the law of the land, pending President Biden's signature. The Bexar County Clerk's Office has issued well over 13,000 marriage licenses so far this year. But since the county clerk's office says they're like any other couple wanting to get married, it doesn't track how many are same-sex marriages. Newlyweds themselves, Angel Gonzalez and Rosana Blanco Cano, say they couldn't be happier for the young couple sitting nearby.
When everybody has the same rights, it can't hurt anybody.
It should be like that. It should be like that, honestly.
Who now have a marriage certificate to prove it, sealed with a kiss. Jessie Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
No word yet on when President Joe Biden will actually sign the Respect for Marriage Act, but he is expected to sign it soon. Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to speak to a sociology professor about the new bill and what it means.
New at 6, one man is dead, another facing charges after a deadly accident on the city's southeast side. It happened along I-10 near Roland around 1 a.m. San Antonio police say the 56-year-old victim was riding a moped when a car rear-ended him. The impact knocked the man from the scooter and into the concrete median on the highway. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, the driver of the car, according to police, swerved after the accident and then crashed into the median and came to a stop right near the guardrail. Police then arrested him for intoxication manslaughter.
A number of shootings, some robberies. New at 6, a Castroville man headed to federal prison for 12 and a half years for an overnight crime spree here in San Antonio back in 2019. 25-year-old Christopher Gonzalez, a convicted felon, part of 2 drive-by shootings and an armed robbery. This is video from that wild series of crimes April 22nd and 23rd, 3 years ago. Started with a West Side robbery. After that, shot up cars and trucks from the shooting spree. 3 people actually arrested the morning of the 23rd, but Gonzalez was not arrested until the following September. Months after, a search warrant was executed at his home and turned up guns and drugs. He was convicted in May of this year for being a felon with a gun and using a gun in a drug-related crime.
Now, Brittany Griner back in the U.S. She landed this morning at Lackland Air Force Base right here in San Antonio. For the last 10 months, she'd been confined in Russia after getting arrested, convicted, and sentenced on drug charges. After months of negotiations, she was released as part of a prisoner swap. In exchange for Griner, we released Russian arms dealer Victor Bout, who was known as the Merchant of Death. Griner has been reunited with her wife, and she is now getting medical treatment at BAMC.
It is not safe to drink at any level, so lead showing up in the drinking water of several San Antonio ISD campuses has officials working to make that water safe. SAISD officials believe no student or teachers consume the contaminated water. The district sent water samples for testing to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. Results for 28 campuses have come back. Lead found in 11 campuses, sometimes in 1 or 2 water outlets. Parents have been notified. SAISD's Director of Operations, Ahmad Sharif, says all of the water fountains in the district drinking spouts have been shut off since COVID-19 precautions began 2 years ago. Experts say the stagnant water is sitting in older lead pipes, which causes lead to accumulate in the water over time.
We're taking proactive measures to ensure that our water quality is on spot. What we're doing, or what we did, is before we open those back up, we wanted to make sure that we get all of those tested.
We contacted Southside ISD and Northside ISD. They told us they flush their fountains for 30 minutes every month to avoid lead accumulation.
New at 6, digging up the past to move toward the future. The latest step in the Alamo Plaza makeover is underway, and our RJ Marquez tells us it includes learning more about what lies underneath the surface.
Our hope is that there's something left, something remaining that can help us interpret the site.
A team of archaeologists are digging deep into the Alamo's past, looking for any remains of an important piece of the mission's history.
The south wall and the main gate into the Alamo is obviously a critical feature of the site, and so which is why there's an exhibit being placed here.
This excavation area is 7,500 square feet. The goal of the project is to give visitors an idea of what the front gate looked like centuries ago, where much of the 1836 battle took place.
A lot of times people come to the Alamo and they think the church is just the Alamo, but it was far larger than that. It was an entire fort and mission.
And this is the first time this part of Alamo Plaza has been unearthed in decades, with archaeologists looking for any portions of the South Mission compound wall to hopefully preserve those remnants.
Our goal is not to disturb it, not to remove it. So usually what we do is we cover it up with something called geofabric, and then we're going to put some type of protective covering over that sand.
The dig is expected to last at least 6 weeks and lead the way to a planned Mission Gate and Lynette exhibit.
Even if it's a small ceramic sherd or, a piece of limestone from the original South Wall Foundation, it's all very, very exciting for all of us.
It's important that we get it right, and so what we're doing here is trying to understand as best we can the history of the site.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
All right, it's Friday. Let's check out traffic. Let's go to 281. The south ramp to get on Loop 410 West. And yes, this has got to be frustrating for a lot of people out there, but not totally unexpected. Again, this is the ramp from US 281 South getting on 410 West. Busy on both the ramp itself and even down on 410 itself. Well, new at 6, you may have gotten over most of the COVID symptoms after you had it, but chances are you or someone you know are one of millions who still have lingering issues. Long haulers, as they're called, have symptoms like fatigue and memory lapses that just don't go away. Ursula Perry shows us the first 4D look inside a long COVID lung and what it reveals.
It's a familiar story.
We realized that our family had come down with COVID.
After a few days, Amy's daughter and husband started to feel better, but not Amy.
I got increasingly worse.
She was one of the first to undergo a new FDA-cleared 4-dimensional scan of her lungs.
It actually can measure air coming from like your upper lung on the right, lower lung on the right, upper on the left, lower lung.
The XV technology uses fluoroscopy, which is in all the hospitals, but the new software algorithms convert the scans, allowing doctors to see defects caused by long COVID.
The areas of poor ventilation, we're going to code them red. And the areas of normal ventilation, we're going to code them green. And the areas of increased ventilation, we're going to code them blue.
The color coding allowed pulmonologists to see immediately what other lung imaging methods like chest x-rays and CT scans cannot.
This happens to be Amy's lung. So the outside of her lung just wasn't getting any air.
The scan helped the doctor know which targeted therapies to use on Amy.
It shed light where light needed to be shed.
Amy is breathing easy and free of all of her symptoms.
Because there's very little radiation exposure and the cost is low, about $500 per scan, the scan can be repeated several times. Without being able to successfully treat long COVID, patients could face a lifetime of respiratory problems, even developing conditions like adult onset asthma. And what's more, this scan can also be used to successfully treat veterans who have burn pit injuries and patients with emphysema and asthma as well. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
All right, switching gears right now. You have, my friends, 7 days. December 16th, that is the last day for the 2022 Share the Shoes campaign, which is our December KSAT community event. We're working with Zapatos and the San Antonio Police Department and RBFU, taking donations of shoes. Now, the goal here is to collect more shoes than we did last year. So here's the deal. We need more than 1,620 pairs. SAPD and RBFCU are still accepting donations across the city. You can also donate to Zapatos Inc., where your contributions will go to buying shoes. You can find more information on our website, ksat.com.
Take a look outside, 75 degrees out there, and, today was just more of the same, really, from what we've seen the last few days.
Copy and paste.
We are going to break that trend, though, very soon. Yes, we're going to mix it up a little bit this weekend and especially into next week when a noticeable cold front arrives. But I have to get to this first. The first time in the pollen count so far this season that mountain cedar has reared its ugly head. It's back. Moderate, 280. And I do think there's the likelihood of the count increasing a little bit by Sunday because our wind's going to shift northeasterly. And remember, there's a higher concentration of mountain cedar up into the hill country. So typically when we get the north breeze this time of year, it'll increase that cedar count. And I anticipate that to happen by Sunday. As for the mountain cedar season, it typically peaks in mid-January and then ends by Valentine's Day. By Valentine's Day, we're completely done with it, but it's just beginning right now, so take the necessary precautions if need be. All right, let's take a look at our weather this evening. Warm, humid, temperatures in the 70s. By 10 o'clock, we're 71. Midnight, low clouds, fog starting to develop. We'll talk about some storm chances this weekend and the next cold front that arrives that'll really have an impact on our temperatures in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. News around Texas now. 3 people in the hospital after a fire at a North Texas nursing home early this morning. Firefighters responded about 6 in Watauga, which is just north of Fort Worth. In addition to 3 people hospitalized, about 3 dozen people suffered minor injuries. Fire crews were able to extinguish those flames. According to the nursing home, work has begun to repair water damage in a hallway caused by the sprinkler system. That work should be done within 10 days. The cause of the fire, though, is still under investigation.
Now, coming up on the Night Beat, we're going to discuss cracking down on crime in a northeast side neighborhood, including car thefts and drive-by shootings. Tonight, how deputies say they found suspects believed to be responsible and the charges they face. Plus, improving conditions along the St. Mary's Strip, what the city says it's doing to move construction along, and the work that it hopes to finish in the next 2 weeks. It's all tonight on the Night Beat.
Check out Sky 12 right now over SeaWorld.
Blue.
There's the main entrance to SeaWorld. Very nice.
Very pretty.
Lit up. Yeah. Holiday in blue, I guess, is what you'd call what's happening at SeaWorld.
Well, you wouldn't be blue if you're walking around there. I mean, super. This is the time when you want to go to all of those theme parks, right? Because 75 degrees is awesome. But Adam, you're telling us there's going to be a change?
Yes, noticeable change on the way. It's on the horizon. It's going to be coming next week. And before then, we even have another little element to our weather to talk about that's going to affect part of your weekend. So let's get right to it. Full screen, looking at our rain chances. More just drizzle and a few sprinkles late tonight through the first part of your Saturday. But notice those rain chances jump up to 40% Saturday night, even up through about sunrise on Sunday morning. That's the scattered category for Bexar County and surrounding counties, as well as we'll have a weak cold front and some upper level energy headed our way. So let's talk about it all. First of all, the current pattern, more of the same. Upper level high, the blue H, it's over the Gulf of Mexico, that clockwise flow around it's been deflecting the disturbances and the rain-making energy around us. But this high is going to flatten out and head to the south. It's going to open the door for this little dip in the upper level flow, this trough near Southern California and the northern Baja Peninsula. That's our weekend system that's going to be moving in and help push a weak little cold front into town. But you're not going to notice a big temperature difference with this one, but it should be enough to help generate and kickstart a few thunderstorms. Let's get right to our futurecast starting 11 p.m. tonight. Low clouds filling in, areas of fog, drizzle, even a few sprinkles first thing in the morning. Notice 7 a.m. the chance of a sprinkle here and there, just a little bit of, that nuisance dampness again to start the day, then some breaks in the clouds by the afternoon. It's closer to 11 p.m. or so Saturday night when we're expecting that energy to move our way and the chance of a few thunderstorms to develop. And you look at the futurecast here, this is midnight. Again, and I say it a lot, I have to say it again, don't pay very close attention to the exact location of the rain on here, okay? Just the general idea that it's in agreement that we'll have the conditions that should favor the development of some scattered showers and storms. Notice through 5 a.m., pockets of heavy rain here and there wherever the storms develop. And I don't think we'll see anything severe. Mainly just some embedded downpours, scattered in nature, accompanied by some lightning and thunder. That's about it. Through about sunrise, this is 8 a.m., and then the activity tapers off. And the second half of the day, and really majority of the daylight hours, should be dry on Sunday. Let's talk temperatures and the changes headed our way. We made it up to 79 today for the high. The average, of course, 66. The record 85 set back in 2008. And I want to point out the average again of 66 because we're going to be closer to that behind our next cold front. Tomorrow morning we'll start the day. Our low temperature will be in the mid 60s. Then by the afternoon we're well into the 70s, even low 80s as you get south and east of San Antonio. Cotulla 84, 81 Gonzales and Pleasanton, and a little closer to 70 in the hill country. Similar situation like the past few days. Clouds holding tight longer in the hill country, so a few degrees lower than the metro area. Timberwood Park 75, Von Army 79, Seguin 80 degrees the high temperature. Sunday's going to be a little bit cooler at 73 for the high, mainly because the clouds are going to be sticking around. We'll have that northeasterly wind, and there's that 40% scattered activity likely late Saturday night lingering into the first part of Sunday morning. And look at this temperature drop then. Our next real cold front, noticeable cold front, hits on Tuesday. So the effects of it will mainly be noticed by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. At that point, we're talking high temperatures back down into the 60s and mornings back down into the 40s. So you look at that forecast there and it's still very spring-like the next several days. But by Wednesday of next week, we get rid of the humidity. Temperatures drop a little closer to average, and you're going to need your jacket again. So if you like the sweatshirt in the morning, you like that cool, crisp feel,
that's the time.
Just wait till Wednesday morning. That's
just
the time.
wait, Adam. Just wait.
Just wait. Just
Thank
wait.
you.
All right, so the Roadrunners getting ready for their bowl game.
Well, they have two things to get ready for right now as we speak. Their bowl game, of course, we're back to work today, and also the River Parade, which is going to be tonight in just a matter of minutes. When we come back, more about the Roadrunners and what lies ahead for them. And Longhorn stars will be missing for the Valero Alamo Bowl. We'll explain coming up. The UTSA Roadrunners went back to practice today for the very first time since winning the Conference USA Championship again. Now they want their first ever bowl victory when they face the Troy Trojans 1 week from today in the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl in Orlando, Florida. The Roadrunners buoyed by the fact that earlier this week, quarterback Frank Harris said he would return next year for a super senior season.
Everybody loves Frank. Kids love Frank. They know Frank's getting what it sounds like getting a nice little chunk, but they know the more he's getting, the more other people are giving too. I think it's a win-win for everybody, and it's good for our team. I mean, we got recruits hitting us up like crazy because of Frank. We got players on our team excited because of Frank, and I'm glad he's back.
All right, and don't forget tonight, the UTSA Roadrunners Championship River Parade will start just a few minutes from now at 6:30 p.m. and not only celebrate the Conference USA Championship won by the football team, but the soccer team as well. Ceremonies will be held at 7 at the Arneson River Theater. Good luck to the University of the Incarnate Word Cardinals as they are in Sacramento, where they will face Sacramento State. In the third round of the FCS playoffs, head coach G.J. Kinney has already accepted the head coaching position at Texas State, but he's staying with the Cardinals until their season comes to an end, hopefully with a championship.
But I think for us, the challenge is just, playing on Saturday, a hard-fought game, then turn around and flying out and playing on Friday. I compare it a lot to time in the NFL when you play a Sunday night game and then you go and turn around and play a Thursday. The practice has been a little different, so they're out of their routine a little bit, but our guys will be good.
All right, kickoff time tonight at Hornet Stadium in Sacramento, 9:30 p.m. San Antonio time. We are getting word today that when Texas faces Washington, the Valero Alamo Bowl on December the 29th, they will be without 3 of their stars. Bijan Robinson, Roshan Johnson, and DeMarvion Overshone are all expected to skip the trip to San Antonio for the game in the Alamo Dome. That's according to Inside Texas, and an indication that they will all 3 be preparing for the 2023 NFL Draft. A great game. Kicked off the state semifinals in the Alamo Dome this afternoon. Number 2 Wimberley taking on number 3 Cuero in the Class 4A Division II playoffs. Wimberley trailed 27-18 in halftime before hitting their stride. Handoff goes to Johnny Ball. The senior steps out of that tackle and races in for the 64-yard touchdown. Texans take the lead back 31-30. Then on their next offensive possession, Ball gets a handoff again, powering his way through gobbler defenders, but he loses the ball, bounces right to Caden Heatley, who scoops and scores. Wimberley threatening to run away with this now at 42-30. Cuero not done yet. Handoff goes to Tyson Williams. He weaves his way into the end zone for the 17-yard touchdown. Gobblers right back in this, trailing 42-36. They have one last shot here to drive for the win. Same score, 57 seconds left. Mason Nataro rolls out on 4th and 18, but his pass falls incomplete. Wimberley is heading back to the state title game for the first time since 2019, 42-36.
It's amazing. I can't even explain it. We just came out and knew we had to come together or lose together. So we came out as a brotherhood like we are, and we just turned the tables.
We've had Johnny Football, now we have Johnny Ball, and now we have 2 more games tonight. Bernie in the Alamo Dome against Chapel Hill. That will start live on MeTV, KSAT 12.2, and the BGC app at 7 o'clock. And Big Sandy Harmony against Poth. That will be over in Cypress tonight.
Should be an exciting night of high school football, if that's any indication.
So far, right?
Yeah,
that's not a bad game, right?
That's pretty good, yeah.
It always is. Thank you. We'll be right back after this.
A law protecting same-sex and interracial marriages may be the law of the land soon. Both the House and Senate passed the Defense of Marriage Act, and now it's going to be on President Biden's desk, who's expected to sign it.
That's right. Now joining us live to talk about this is Amy Stone. She is professor of sociology and anthropology at Trinity University. Dr. Stone, thank you so much for joining us. So first, let's break down, because there are a lot of misconceptions about this bill. Let's talk about what it does and doesn't do.
So what it does is it repeals DOMA, which DOMA, the Defense of Marriage Act, was passed in 1986. And DOMA made the federal definition of marriage, there hadn't been a definition before, made it a man and a woman. And it also made it that each state couldn't recognize or wasn't required to recognize marriages from other states between same-sex couples. So if you got married in California, Texas could say, hey, we don't recognize it. So what this does is it overturns DOMA, essentially. So it doesn't make same-sex marriage legal in Texas. Right. So if Obergefell v. Hodges, if the Supreme Court says, oh, no, we're going to overturn this old case, it doesn't make it legal here. But it does mean that if you got married somewhere else or you're married previously in Texas, it would be recognized here. And so each state would have to recognize marriages from other states.
The word protection seems to be overriding in a lot of the conversations. Talk about that and what this does to protect people's marriages.
Well, there's a lot of fear and concern in the LGBT community and also among people in interracial relationships, like Loving v. Virginia. The Supreme Court case about interracial relationships is on the line here as well. There's a lot of concern that their marriages may be ended or eliminated, right? Very suddenly. And so this is some protection, for that, essentially, meaning that it doesn't make it completely accessible, right? You have to have the means, you have to have the ability to kind of go to another state and get married if you wanted to, but that you still could be married if you wanted to, and that it would have to be recognized by the state and also by the federal government, right? So that comes with a lot of benefits like inheritance, taxes, and insurance, all kinds of things are attached to that.
Yeah, that's something that was going to be the next thing that I asked you, Dr. Stone, because often when people talk about same-sex marriage, they just think about the act, like the marriage. But there are a lot of other things that come along with that. When you have children, health care rights, other benefits that you have, through your partner. So could we just kind of go to that angle now?
Yes. So before, when DOMA was the law of the land and you could not get married as a same-sex couple in most states, you had to go through many, many, many steps to protect your children, to maybe have to adopt your children, actually your own children. to have the right to be the power of attorney. So you had to pay a lot of money, if you had it at all, to have some of the same rights someone could have if they just got married.
You know, when the Supreme... go ahead, doctor. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. Keep going.
When the Supreme Court recognized same-sex marriages, there was a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
We're not seeing that so much today. I'm guessing it's more of a relief. Would you characterize that as being what you're hearing as well?
It's a tremendous sigh of relief. In a way, it's kind of treading in place, right? Getting to keep most of the rights you already have, right? Or being reassured that you'll get to keep them if there is a court decision. I think that's a key piece here, is that it's a retention of rights.
You know, and part of the reason that we had this conversation and why this gained momentum was because it was right after the Supreme Court overturned Roe, because the argument was, if women's bodily autonomy is taken away, then what's next, right? And also, we know that Justice Clarence Thomas also made a comment about possibly looking again at the 2015 Supreme Court ruling with gay marriage. So sociologically, why is it that same-sex marriage, women's rights, all of these things are usually linked together?
I think we're having some technical problems with Dr. Stone there. All right. We hope to get the good doctor back. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.